For the purposes of recording, good evening. Hope you're well. If you're seeing this recording and you have any questions as well, please just let me know. Depending on what time you're doing it, doesn't matter, just give me a call and I will answer those questions if I'm able to. Right, so let's just bring this down a little bit. So I wanted to start up, and we're going to very, very quickly bring ourselves down. And I'm definitely going to do a few progressions today. So if there's anything where you just go, oh my God, I definitely can't do that and it's just too tough, then please, I will show you the less tough version, but we can go a little bit stronger today. But please don't feel like you need to do that. I obviously have a new guest with me, so I don't want to scare them. But if you feel comfortable to do that, then please do. Right, so if you want to start at the end of your mat, I just want to get us a little bit into the frame of mind, because we've been doing lots and lots of different things today. I just want to still the mind a little bit. So hip width apart with your feet, and just give your feet a little wriggle, and just feel them on the mat. Just spread them out and just feel really nice and solid and grounded. Arms all the way up, deep breath in. And release your breath. Arms down. And let's go again. Arms all the way up. Deep breath in. And release. Okay, chin to chest, rolling it down. Let's start with a really nice gentle roll down. Now, the first thing you'll feel is the back of your legs, and just give them a second, they will relax. And what we're trying to do with this one is really try and relax the vertebrae. So really try and just lengthen everything and just feel the weight of your head, your arms and your hands. Just think, okay, I'm going to use that weight and just relax everything down. Just feel a little bit like a rag doll. So we're going to just sway very, very gently from one side to the other. Now what that does is it just extends the stretch from one side of your leg and the other leg. That's it. Good. Come back to center. And we're going to roll it up. And I want you to stack your vertebrae. So just keep your head down to the last. Stack, stack, stack. Think of yourself like Lego bricks. Stack all the way up. Head last. Deep breath in. And relax down. Okay, chin to chest. Let's roll it down again. That's it. Roll it down, roll it down, roll it down. Relax and drop your head. Excellent. Okay, this time we're going to walk it out. So we're going to come into a downward dog position. Try and keep your legs straight if you're able to. And then head in between your arms and just push back. Now again, what I want you to think is, right, what quality am I doing here? Am I just flopped, or have I got a good quality downward dog going on here? So straighten your arms. Push your back nice and straight. Sit bones right up to the ceiling. Legs nice and straight, and push those heels. It doesn't matter if they reach the floor or don't reach the floor, it's the stretch that you're getting. Girls, if you've just done a run, this should feel really nice. Keep your tummy nice and tucked in. Okay, we're going to come up onto our toes, really stretch, and then sink back down again. Lovely, that's it. And again, up and sink down. Bring it up, and you're going to bend your knees forwards and come down to all fours. That's it, nice and slowly. Untuck your toes, and then we're going to... I want to start by sinking. So normally I come up into a cat, but we're going to sink into a cow. Reason being that if you have been typing a lot and just sitting or sitting at a desk or your sofa, your back has not been in this position. You just want to relax it out. Just really, really relax. Sink your belly button down. That's it. Head up, look forwards. Okay, so just going to engage your core very slightly, bring yourself up through to neutral, and then we're going to go completely the other way into your cat stretch. Head down and really curve. And I want you to think, Zoe, belly button to spine. Yay! Bring it all the way up into a nice little arch. Hold it here. Not that easy to breathe. Okay, sink it back down. We're going super slowly. Sinking it down and just really drop. Really, really drop that belly. Tailbone up, head up. Hold it here. Nice. Okay. Through to center, and then exactly the opposite. All the way up. Drop your head. Create a little bridge, a real arch. Sit and sink it down. Lovely. Through to where you believe is neutral. Okay. Now we're going to sit back, put your toes together, and just sit back. And we're just going to get a little bit of distance between your knees. And then really sort of just arch your back slightly, and then we're going to crawl down. So really stick your bum out, crawl down. So we're onto forearms. Okay, so you're quite far back onto your heels, and try and keep your bum cheeks right onto your heels. Okay. Now in that position, if that is too difficult to thread the needle through with your arm, then please just come up a bit. But I really want you to try and sit back down because it does make this one stronger. We're going to bring our arm through the little gap and then sink your shoulder right down. So just hold it here. So your shoulder should be as much to the floor as it can be. Just tilt your head to the side so your ear's on the floor as well. And just try really hard to relax your hips. You're going to feel a bit of this as well as your shoulder. And where you should feel this is right around the back of your shoulder blade. So it should feel sort of slightly stretched away from where it normally is, and that should feel quite nice. Good. Okay, lift your head and then just bring yourself through back onto your forearms. And then we're going to push the other one through. I'm just going to be careful of my earpiece. I can't go quite the same on this side. Just sink down and really try and feel your own weight sinking into the mat. Really try and relax. That's it, and bring yourself up. Lovely. Right, now, if you stay there and you're like, no, that was really good, I felt that stretch, that was lovely, do that again. If you want to extend it, we'll go a little bit further. So there's always the option to not do that. So bring your first arm through, drop your head, drop that shoulder right on. Okay, now with the hand that's free, I want you to tilt your head further so you're looking up to the ceiling, and then bring that arm up. Now in this position, that's not that easy because you are sat right back. And by the way, if you start to get pins and needles or cramp in your toes, obviously come up. Your hand here, you're looking up at your hand if you can. Now, if you want to expand that further, you're going to lift your knee, so it's the same as your arm, okay? Not the other one, you'll fall over. Up and away, okay? So you should be able to come right round. If you do not want to lift your leg, please don't. You don't need to. This gives it quite a strong stretch. Okay, bring your hand down to the floor. Replace your knee back down. Sink right back down, and then just bring yourself out of that. Hopefully that's clear. Okay, so exactly the same thing on the other side. So remember, you can always stay just here. If that's enough, that's great. If we're not, we're tilting our head a little bit further round, arm up. And if you want to stay here, that's also great. If not, we're lifting and just tilt slightly, lift that leg, straighten it, and you're coming right round. If that's aggravating your knee, please bring your leg back down. Okay, it's quite a strong stretch, this one. Also, balance is required, because if you go too far, you'll just fall over. Okay, bring your hand down. Very good if you've managed that. That's excellent. Bring it, leg down. Just bring yourself out of that and bring yourself up. Well done. Oh, that's a strong one. Okay, so knees and feet together. Just bring yourself back onto all fours. We're going to do a little puppy wag, which is this one. Just feel a little bit of a crack in your back if you need to. Lovely. Bring yourself back to center. Now you can either sit like this if that's comfortable, or if it's not quite so comfortable, just bring yourself down onto your bum and just cross your legs. Okay, just wherever's comfortable, cross your legs. Right, we're going to do a little bit of oblique warm up here. So bring one hand onto the floor and then one hand up. So the first thing we're going to do is just reach up nice and tall. And then we're going to come very, very gently, just at first, very gently over to the side, just a little tiny lean, just making sure that both bum cheeks are squarely on the floor. That's it. Okay, bring yourself around. Beautiful ballerinas on the way up. Nice and tall, really nice and tall, and over. Now, once you're in this position, try and relax your knees, because that can happen. Try really hard just to relax those knees down and bring yourself up to center again. Wonderful. Right, so let's do the same thing again. So you should be able to go a tiny bit further now. Up first, hand out to the side, and you're going to lean nice and gently and just let gravity pull you. Set and bring it up, just use your arm push, and we're just going to cartwheel that over really nice and tall first, then bring it over. Then you may find that one side is a damn sight stiffer, this one for example, stiffer than the other, not a problem. How it usually is, unfortunately. I don't know many people are completely equal one side than the other. Right, so the last time option, again, if you just think, no, that was really good, I'll do what I did. Or you can bring your forearm down. So we're going to go exactly the same thing, arm all the way up, nice and tall. And then if you want to just reach out a little bit further and your forearm's coming, try to avoid doing that if your bum cheek has to lift. All it does is stop the stretch. So only do that if your bum cheek can also meet the floor. That should be a really strong stretch. Oh, nice. And all the way up and over. You might not be able to do one or the other. I don't even know if I'm going to do this today. Oh, nah, not happening. Good. And bring yourself back up. Now, a little exercise we haven't done for quite a while. The intercostal muscles, so there's some muscles around your ribs and they're in between. They very rarely get a stretch out. It's very rare that you sort of think, oh yes, I'm going to stretch my intercostal muscles. Not really anyone apart from me who's mental thinks that. Maybe Zoe. But we're going to try and do that now. So hand backwards and just, I want you to stretch, just think, I'm going to stretch my ribs out. It's probably the best way of thinking of it. So keep everything forwards and you bring it backwards. Now I want you to hold on to them and do a big deep breath in. And again, big deep breath in and release. Good. That's actually just stretched those muscles. They needed a good stretch. And let's do the other side. So let's bring it back. And again, sort of hold on to those muscles around your ribs. Little stretch, deep breath in. Oh, God. And back and in. Lovely. Very good. Quite strong, that one. If you are on your heels still, do you want to just bring yourself back round to seated with your legs crossed? Because the next one we are definitely going to need to be like that. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at this plane now. So first of all, you want to put your hands behind you, just gently behind you. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. And then we're just going to relax your knees out again without throwing your head back. So keep your chin nice and close to your chest. We're going to just open that chest out. So really just push your chest forward. And then with your back, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now you'll create a little arch. And again, deep breath in. And that really stretches the whole chunk of muscles out and relax. And deep breath. That's it. Try not to throw your head back. Let's do one more. Deep breath in. Squeeze. Good. Okay, if you can, just push yourself forwards. I'm going to go completely the other way now. So bring your hands in front of you. And now, Liz, if we're up here, absolutely fine. I just want you to bring your hands in front of you still, and then just drop your head as much as possible. And we're just going to create a little bit of pressure with those elbows. And other ladies, if you are a little bit lower, we're just going to bring yourself down and reach forwards, just nice and gently. Drop your head as much as you can, ensuring that your bum cheeks don't lift too much. So if they're lifting right off the floor, just bring yourself up a little bit and just have a nice little relax down here. And when you can, just slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself out of that. Oh, dog's come to join us. Hello, can I help? I'm in the middle of a class, Teddy. Right. So when, whilst we're in this position, I just want you to bring one leg out. So one leg straight and one leg bent. Now with that bent leg, that can stay where it is. If you have a small dog in the way, it may need to stay there. If you don't, then you can bring that further in if that's comfortable too, okay? If that's not comfortable, then you're bringing it further out and this leg further in. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to switch around slightly. Teddy, you're going to have to get out of the way, please. So bring that right in and bring that leg comfortably out, okay? Now we're going to do a very similar stretch that we did for the intercostal muscles. It is a little bit more your obliques, so it's a little bit lower, this one. Hand behind you again, and we're going to do that arm stretch. So arm stretch all the way out. Now you should feel that a tiny bit lower than where we did before. That's it. So it should be right here. That's it. And then we're going to pivot yourself forwards. Take hold of a toe if you can, just if you can. And then we're going to bring that over. Now, if that's super easy and you're like, just push your toe forwards. Okay, that should get right at the back of your leg. And you'll also feel it right here, okay? Those muscles there. Good. Release your toe, and you're going to bring yourself back. So you're pendulum swinging yourself backwards. Really nice big stretch. You can come down onto your forearm if you want. Just make sure the whole lot doesn't lift up. Really big stretch. Now, the further out you stretch, you might find it, you can feel it right here now. That's it. And spring forwards. Take hold of a toe if you can, only if you can. And what I want you to do is keep yourself to the side still, so we're not leaning towards your foot. You're still over to the side. And push with your foot if you want to. Good. And bring yourself up to center. Lovely. Whilst we're in this position, I want you to now face the leg that's out. Okay, so we're definitely looking at that leg now. And then just hinge yourself forward. So if you want to creep your hands down, hinge yourself forward. Not the easiest one, this one. So if you're like, I can't go any further than that, no, it's not going to happen. It's absolutely fine. Just drop your head wherever you are. If you can come down to reach your toe, then you're reaching your toe. Drop your head, keep yourself towards. Now, completely ideally, that's not going to happen for me today. I'm far too stiff, but your chest is to your thigh. That's roughly where we need to get to if you are feeling that today. Now you should feel this very, very slightly to one side of the back of your hip, but it's mainly down the back of your leg. You should be feeling this. Oh, okay, roll it up. Nice and slow, that's quite strong, that one. Okay, so now we're into the center. So wherever you are, just make sure that you're comfortable, and then we're going to roll that down. Now, you should feel that down the back of your leg quite strongly. So if you're like, no, I can't go any further, that's exactly it. If not, you're coming down, drop your head. Now, if you flex the foot that's long as well, that does make it stronger. Point it, it will release it slightly. That's it. Very, very slowly roll your way out of that. Now, slightly easier is when you turn yourself to your bent thigh. So we're going to come down. Now, what I want you to do on this one is try to avoid lifting your bum cheek too much, because basically that won't do anything. So try and keep your bum cheek on the floor. Bring your chest to your thigh that's bent, but making sure that you're not doing that. Okay, as soon as you roll your bum cheek off the floor, it's not doing anywhere near as much. That should be really strong. The back of your leg that's long still. Drop your head. Good. And nice and slowly bring yourself out of that. Whoa, wonderful. Right, the leg that's long, just give it a little wriggle, little jig. Fantastic. Right, as beautifully and as elegantly as you can. Ladies, you probably have less space because you're in the same room. I want you to avoid kicking each other and all furniture, and then we're going to swap legs, okay? So, foot in, leg out, okay? First of all, just let it relax, because it hasn't done that yet. Hasn't been that side yet. So we're going to start with the pendulum swing back and forward, okay? And just make sure that your trunk is facing outwards. We're not going to do that one yet. We're doing that one in a second, so it's facing outwards. Hand behind you. I'm going to take a nice big stretch. Remember, you should feel that pretty much all the way down there, but there in particular. Really stretch that out. And then just push and taking hold of that toe if you're able to. And remember to turn out, just keep your head facing forward and relax this knee, okay? It needs to relax. Lovely, bring yourself out of that. Beautiful ballerinas today. Bring yourself back. Now remember, the further back you go, just as long as you're not lifting too much, you can bring yourself back onto your forearm if you want to. Really big stretch. And you should feel that there as well, right underneath your shoulder blade. And bring yourself up, push, and forwards. Remember to the side. Just relax your head, relax that knee. Right at the back of your leg. Oh. Sit and bring yourself up. Lovely. Okay, give that leg a little jig. Okay, so now we're going to face, tilt yourself towards that leg. So eventually we're thinking chest to thigh. Don't think that's going to happen today. It's not looking good today, girls. Right, bringing it down. Drop your head to wherever you're going to be. That's it. Also, don't worry about what everyone else is doing, okay? You worry about what you're doing and what your capabilities are. Relax your leg. Your quad muscle, which is the one at the front, should relax. It might take a few seconds, but it should relax. That's it. Nice and slowly bring yourself out of that. That's it. Oh, it might be quite strong, that one, so just remember, only go as low as you can go. Okay, we're going to come forwards now. This is very slightly different feeling. If you find that it's right at the back of your knee, and you're like, no, I really don't think that's the muscle that I want to, just bend your legs slightly. Okay, just bend it and it takes the pressure off. If it's hurting where it shouldn't hurt, you think it shouldn't hurt, then bring yourself up, bend your knee, relieve the pressure a bit. Drop your head right down. That's it. And roll it up. Should still be right at the back of that leg. Roll it up nice and slowly. That's it. And now we're going to tilt towards the thigh. And then you're coming down. All the way. Remember, don't lift that bum cheek. If that's coming off the floor, don't go so low. Keep it on the floor. It should still feel that right at the back of your leg. Lovely. And super gently roll the way back up. Oh, good. Okay, just give that leg a little jig. Fantastic. Okay, just going to fold your legs back in again. Right. We'll get out of this position fairly shortly because everything's probably starting to go mildly numb now. So I want to have a look now. So we've really done a lot on that plane. I just want to look at this plane now. So we've got a bit of a twist going on. Now, for the benefit of our new guest, we're going to start with it in one way and then we're going to do it the full way. If, again, you're like, oh my God, just start the more simple way. It's not a problem. So bring yourself across, one hand across, and I want you to swing your arm nice and wide and then backwards, and then we're twisting. Sorry, Teddy's obviously deciding he's ferocious. Apologies for the noise in the background. And twist. Try to keep your back nice and straight and look over your shoulder as much as you can. And I want you to think about the knee that's not doing anything. If that's starting to like creep up, just bring it down. Excuse me, just bring it down. And then twist yourself back to the center. And then arm over, arm nice and wide. Bring it backwards behind you and twist. Try really hard to keep your back straight, but try and breathe as well, because it's not so easy to breathe in this one. That's it. Deep breath in. And roll your way really gently back again. Wonderful. Right, to advance that, we're going to do something called Full Lord of the Fish. Yes, Lord of the Fish, weirdest name on the planet, but it's quite a nice one. So we're just going to stretch and flex our toes first. Just make sure they're still awake. They've been tucked under for a bit. That's it. Nice and point, nice and flex. Good for the runners there as well. Oh, nice little calf stretch. Point and release. Lovely. Okay, just give them a little jig. So one leg over the other. Just cross your leg. Bring that leg up. Now, however far up is however far up you can get it, and that's usually based on what your knee can do, not what anything else can do. So keep that nice and tight if you're able to. I'm just going to very slightly turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. And then what I want you to do is, if you want to stay there and the stretch is this, absolutely fine. So we're going to repeat what we've just done. If you're like, no, I can do this, bring your weight onto this foot. So you're going to transfer your weight onto this side. You're going to flick your leg round and bring yourself back again. Okay, so you should look like you're in a little knot. Now, if for whatever reason your hips won't allow that, everything won't allow that, that leg is coming back out again. Okay, but if not, we're going to sort of sit ourselves back onto your bum cheeks, and you've got this twist motion going on here. That allows your hips and your glutes to really relax out, which again may have been doing a little bit of work if you were running. So bring your opposite arm across. Okay, so this leg, that arm, and then we're going to really try and bring that across. If that's too difficult, just hold on to it, and then we're going to twist again, and just, you'll find that if you just push your arm, you might be able to get a little bit more. This is a very strong stretch, so only do it if you feel comfortable. Hold it here. Oh, and bring it back nice and slowly. Lovely. Now to unfold yourself from this, literally lean back and take your top leg off. And you can come back into legs in front of you. Now, the main trick on this is remembering which leg you put. So the opposite leg, cross your legs, bring your foot up. If you've realized swiftly that you've got the wrong leg, obviously just swap. Keep that nice and close to you. Then we're going to lean onto that foot. So again, you're just leaning that way. For goodness sake, don't bring your leg around the other way because you'll break it. And then you're going to flip that round and sit back up again. And again, you may find that it's much harder on one side than the other just because your hip won't allow it. So do what you can do. Bring your opposite arm, so it's this leg, that arm, opposite. And then we're going to twist around. Now your hand can stay there or it can come up here, either or. Remember to breathe. Good. And just unfold yourself and bring yourself back to center. Absolutely excellent if you manage that. Leg off and just bring your legs back to straight in front of you. Teddy's decided to join us again. Right, now we're going to go for a nice little forward bend. Again, I'm just going to come to the side slightly so you can see me. So back up nice and straight. So what I have done is got a steel rod and put it right at your back, okay? So it's right down your spine. There's no way that you can start flopping forwards. You get right upright. Just address your posture, arms all the way up, nice and tall. And then I want you to think, right, the hinge point is right here. I'm not going to bend forwards, I'm going to hinge forward. So try and keep your back straight. We're trying to aim for those toes. And then once you've got hold of them, I want you to try and just drop your shoulders. Now, obviously, there is a bit of a bend in your back, but try and keep it straight and try and keep those bum cheeks right on the floor. So your head's up, you're looking forwards. Take a deep breath in. And now drop your head. So push your toe, if you have got your toes, push your toes forward. Take a few deep breaths here. Now what this should feel like, the back of your legs, yes. Your back, your lower back should get a really good stretch, but your shoulder blades, if you have got hold of your toes in particular, whatever you've got hold of, your shoulder blades should feel like, oh my God, they're getting a good stretch. Deep breath in and relax. And again, deep breath. And relax. Hold it here. Good. Release your toes. Bring your arms up by your ears and reverse what you've done. Nice and tall. Remember that steel rod. And back down. Lovely. Just give your shoulders a little roll. Try and keep your posture. And the other way. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So all the way up. Deep breath in. And hinge forwards. It's all from your hips. Hold on to your toes if you're able to. Keep that head up. Push those toes forwards if you are able to. Deep breath in and sink. Relax your quad muscles, the ones at the front. They might be trying to tense. Just try and relax them. A couple of deep breaths. Feel those shoulder blades expanding. Deep breath in. And release. Good. Just relax. Let go of your toes if you've got them. Arms up by your ears. And bring yourself down. Beautiful. Lovely. Just relax. Just give your legs a wriggle. Wonderful. Right. Haven't been down on the floor yet completely. So we're just going to bring ourselves right down. And we're going to do a teeny tiny bit of bridge work if we are able to. So inch yourself to the edge of your mat. So you've got some mat behind you. And then I want you to just use your core very slightly to roll yourselves down. So we're going to curl and really roll down nice and slowly. Use your core as a bit of a break. That's it. Now bring yourself down. Right. We haven't been down this low yet. So I want your back just to give yourself a second for your back just to relax. Now, if you have been in a position where you shouldn't have been, your posture wasn't good today, it might just feel a little bit achy when you're down on the floor because it's flattened out. So just give yourself a second, bring your feet nice and close to your glutes and just try and tilt your pelvis slightly, just give your back a chance to relax. It shouldn't be spasming, but it might be a little bit of a dull ache. And just give yourself a second and just try and relax your shoulder blades right down onto the floor. Hands can be where they are comfortable. So on the floor, palms up, on your hips. Personally, I prefer on my hips, but it's completely up to you. Just try and relax. Take a deep breath in. Sink into the mat on the out breath. Just let the whole lot go. Best way to describe it. Deep breath in. And sink. There you go. Right, any aches and pains in your back should be dissipating now. Right. Okay. Now we have done quite a lot of twisting in your back, but I just want to put your knees and your feet together and just drop your knees to one side. It should be relatively easy because you have just done a Lord of the Fish, which is a damn sight harder. Don't worry if they won't go to the floor. That doesn't matter, just as long as you're comfortable and both your shoulder blades are on the floor. Okay, take a deep breath in and use your muscles to bring yourself up. There we go. Okay, and flop to the other side, nice and gently. And again, readjust yourself if you need to, just making sure those shoulder blades are on the floor and just sink yourself into the mat. Lovely. Okay, again, deep breath in, use your muscles to bring yourself up. Good. Right. Now let's have a look at these bridges. So quite a few muscles have got to do some work here, but it's supposed to be a really nice stretch out for your back and for your abs. Okay, so if you have been using your abs today, this is an excellent stretch out. Your back does need to do some work, but it should get a stretch out as well. The only muscles I really want you to do some work on is your glutes. Okay, they will have to work to get you up there. So first thing is your heels. I want them relatively close to your glutes. Okay. Now we're going to tilt that pelvis, so it should be tilted right towards you, and then you're going to just lift your bum off the floor, just off the floor. So you should be able to get your hands just underneath your glutes. Just hold it here. Now, what I want you to feel is that your legs just start to relax. They do a bit of work at first, but I really want it to sort of sink down so your glutes start to feel that they can do a bit of work. That's it. Hold it there, and then we're going to roll it down. And untilt your pelvis and just relax entirely. So now we're going to tilt again and just come up a little bit higher. So just a little bit, as a couple of vertebrae higher. Again, just squeeze your glutes slightly. I don't want your muscles to do too much work. And then roll it down. And release. Just make sure that you do release your glutes so they stop squeezing. So untilt your pelvis. Now I'm going to tilt that again, and we're going to come up. So where you should be is sort of at the base of your shoulder blades now. Again, don't squeeze your glutes too hard. I want them to feel like they're doing something more than your back is. And then we're going to roll it down. Feel those vertebrae getting a really nice stretch out, each one, and release. Right, this time we're going to come up. If you do have your hair in a bun or something like that, it might be best to release it because you're not going to be able to come up so much. And I wouldn't suggest a pillow behind you either because you just hurt your neck. So we're going to tilt and roll all the way up now. Okay, just get your glutes to do a little bit of work. Your hands are going to be by your side, and I want you to lift your arms up and over. Now in this position, I want you to just squeeze your glutes and lift your hips. Little bit of work required here. Now the reason we're doing this is because I want you to get a really nice stretch all the way down your back. So lift and squeeze, and now you're going to roll it super slowly down. You can feel that all the way down your vertebrae. Feel them just releasing onto the mat, releasing onto the mat. Keep your arms up all the way down, each one, each one, each one. Release down to the bottom and release your pelvis. Excellent, that should have felt lovely. And bring your arms all the way back over. Now, if that doesn't feel lovely because of your back, I don't want you bringing your arms over, okay? It's supposed to feel nice. I don't want it to feel like a stress. So tilt your pelvis, lift it all the way up onto your shoulders. That's it, hips nice and high, arms up and over. Leave them there, just one more little squeeze. Get your glutes to do a tiny bit of work. And then we're rolling. Physically feel, close your eyes, feel those vertebrae going boop, 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 all the way down into the mat. Curl, curl, curl to the last minute. Last one's hitting the floor and then release. Wonderful, arms back over. Very nice. Now, by all means, please don't do this if you're like, that's not going to work tonight, Rebecca. No. We're going to try to do a bit more of a bridge. Okay, so that is a glute bridge, but there's a full bridge. Now, this should be really good for your abs, but it's not exactly easy on anything else. So I'm going to get my hair out of the way so that doesn't cause me a problem. So the first thing to do, by the way, if you don't want to do this, we're just going to do another glute bridge, same as you did. Hands behind you by your shoulders and backwards. Okay, so this position, you've curled your arms round. If that's the only other thing you do, that's absolutely fine. Now we're going to do the same thing. So you're going to tilt your pelvis, roll up, and you're going to come right onto your shoulders. If you're like, yep, that's good enough for me, we're all good, then you stay there. Now, if not, I want you to put a little bit of pressure onto your hands. You're going to lift and roll up onto your head. Okay, so your neck and you're on the back of your head. Your shoulders are off the floor. We're going to roll back down and roll it all the way back down. That's it. Release your hands and we're going to roll those wrists. Now, I repeat, if that's too difficult, for goodness sake, don't do it. It's supposed to be a nice, relaxing move. So same again. So hands back. And then we're going to roll up. Shoulders off the floor if you want to, and you're going to come onto your head. That's it. Feel those abs getting a really good stretch and your hip flexors. And we're going to roll it down. Nice and slowly, just watch your wrists roll, roll, roll. And bring your hands together and roll your wrists. Right. It is either, please don't do this if you think you might not be able to. It is either one more of those or we're going to come up into a full bridge. If you have done a full bridge before, that's fine. If you haven't, please don't try. I need to be there with you. So hands backwards, get them quite close to behind your shoulders. We're going to tilt and lift. And then if you're happy to, we're coming up into a full bridge. Head back down, exactly the same thing. So all the way down, hands release and roll your wrists. Well done. Lovely. Okay, so just bring your knees in. I'm going to do completely the opposite now. So knees right to your chest and tiny, tiny little rocks from one side to the other. If you did manage that and that was comfortable, well done. If you're working on it, excellent. Okay, now little tiny rolls round. Feel that right at the bottom, right by your coccyx, base of your vertebrae. And the other way. That's it, wonderful. Okay, bringing your knees in. And we're going to hold onto one knee nice and tightly, shoot the other leg up, and then super slowly just bring that down, cycle that leg down. to the floor. Just hover it just off the floor. Okay, so it should feel like it's near the floor, but just not. Your heel can't quite meet the floor yet. And then I want you to bring that leg out and across. So you're swinging it like a little pendulum across. So you should feel that quite nice stretch on your hips. Just keep hold of that knee, and that knee is giving your hip flexor on that leg a stretch. That's it. Little pendulum swings from one side to the other. You can't actually go too far because your hip won't allow it, but that is a certain ball and socket hip movement that again rarely gets done. Okay, come back to center, and then you're just going to bring your knee up to meet the other knee, and then we're swapping knees. So hold onto that knee really tightly, and we're going to come up and nice and slowly drop that leg down, not quite to meet the floor. Nice and slowly, use your leg muscle to keep it slow. Hip flexor stretch. Oh. Okay, and then across and across. That's it. Just almost sweep the floor with it. This should feel nice. If it's clicking, it's really horrible and clicky. For goodness sake, don't do it, because it should feel really nice. Keep hold of that knee nice and tightly, and just make sure that your shoulders aren't up by your ears. Just relax your shoulders. That's it. Okay, come back to center and bring both knees in again. I'd like to hold both knees and just come into a really tight little ball. That's it. Just hug your knees, and then we're going to go from side to side. Now you should feel that in your mid back. Really nice little massage. Good. Okay, come back to center. Just use a leg and slowly bring yourself up. Excellent. Well done, ladies. Okay, so we're going to finish. We've got a few minutes. We're just going to finish with a balance. So see how balanced we're feeling. I'm not feeling that balanced today, so this might go wrong. I've tested a few things out today. It's not going so well. Obviously a bit mental to do this with you this evening. Just bring yourself onto all fours, and then we're going to bring yourself onto your toes. Just rock backwards onto your toes. Head down, bum up. Try and keep your hands on the floor as long as you can. And then we're just going to hang here. Then what you hopefully should feel is you are a little bit lower than when we first started, because this is where we started. And if you're like, oh God, yeah, actually, even if it's a millimeter or so, job done. Okay, nice and slowly, just roll your way up. And again, thinking about stacking those vertebrae right on top of each other. Roll it up. Head last. Deep breath in, arms up. And back down. Your posture should be feeling a damn sight better than an hour ago. I'm just going to bring this up slightly so you can see me. I'm also just going to get rid of the ridiculous mop that is my hair. Driving me mental today. Right. Okay, so we are going to do an eagle pose today. It's been a little while. Not the easiest one. But it is a really good test of how our balance is doing today. Right, so hopefully Vienna see me all right. So let's start with our hands on our hips, and then put a little bit of weight onto one side. So really plaster that foot down. My advice would be to stare at something that is not moving. So probably not best to stare at the screen, because obviously it is moving. So just below, something that's not moving. And then we're going to bring our foot onto our knee. Now, gently, okay? I don't want it pushed back. It doesn't lock your leg. Your leg is still unlocked. And we're just going to keep your posture nice and tall and hold it here for a second. Now, once you feel comfortable, I want you to bring your hands off your hips and bring your hands together and to the center of your chest. Now, again, that may destabilize you very slightly. I just want you to recenter refocus and still your mind. If you're wobbling all over the place tonight, it's because your mind is all over the place. Try and relax. Good. Hands back to your hips and relax your leg. Wonderful. Right, let's do that the other side now. So change your weight, plaster that foot on the floor. Look at something that's not moving. Bring your leg onto your knee. That's it. Still your mind, hands to your chest. Try and relax your shoulders and try and relax your mind. Clearly my mind is not relaxed. Hands back. I told you, it's not going well. And then we're back down and release. Good. Right, just give your legs a little shake. Okay, if you're like, that was bad enough, I'm not doing any more, please stay where you are. If you're like, nope, we can do this. So we're going to start with the original leg. So plaster your foot on the floor, hands on hips. Then you're going to bring your leg up and bring it past your knee now. Okay, so it's not quite resting your knee, it's over, if you can see that. Now we're going to bring our hands to our chest. Now what I want you to do is sit back. It's actually, this part's chair pose. So you're going to bend your knee and sit back. So keep your back straight. So it slightly feels like you're just about to sit down onto a chair. Keep it there. Good. Now, if you've got that, if you're like, yeah, we're steady, then you're going to hinge further forwards. Okay, hinge it forwards, try to relax. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Now, hold it here, excellent. Now we're going to spread our eagle wings and you're going to come up and bring your arms up, stand up nice and tall. Really good. And arms down and your leg down. Beautiful. Beautiful eagles. All right, let's see what the other side eagle's going to do. Is it going to fall from the sky? Probably. Me, that is. So, plaster our foot. Bring your leg up. Bring your leg over. That's it. Feel stable. Hands onto chest. We're going to sink back into that chair just a little bit at first. Just feel your leg resting on there. That's it. Sinking back into that stool, and then you're going to hinge forwards. Hold it here. If you are wobbling all over the place, start again. Start again. Don't try and rescue it. Start again. Hold it here. Oh my God, this leg. Whoa. Okay, are we ready to be eagles? Spread your wings all the way up, nice and tall. Beautiful. And arms down and leg down. Lovely. Beautiful eagles. Right, let's give your legs a little shake. Fantastic stuff. Right, ladies, we'll finish as we normally finish, of which two of you know, with a tiny little balance, but it's mainly a big stretch. So we're going to bring our arms out. We're going to dip, bring it down, deep breath in. Up onto your toes, squeeze your glutes up onto your toes if you can. Very good. And down, let's go 2 more. Deep breath in. And up. And last one. Deep breath in, hold and squeeze and lift. And back down. Wonderful. Very, very good. Excellent stuff. Thank you very, very much, ladies. Just give me 1 secondo. Okay, I think that did it. View gallery. Excellent. Can everyone hear me, see me? This is the updated version. I was like, oh God, what's it done here? It's moved everything around. How do we all feel?
Good, much better.
Whew, that was a strong one. Liz, all good? Oh, I can't hear you, darling. I can't hear you.
Yeah, it was fine. Strong,
wonderful.
Twisty ones, yeah.
It was a strong one, that one. But hopefully the regression version of it. So there's sort of, a few versions to build
Yeah.
up to that point, or otherwise you're thinking, oh my God, I don't really want to do a full bridge. Thanks very much.
Not
If
that I
you
don't
did manage that
want to,
upside
it's
down.
that I can't.
Yeah, exactly. It's of all of I want to, but it's not going to happen this evening, my love.
Just can't do it.
Well, it's the fact of even lifting your hips off the floor. That's a really good start, and then rolling that down. You can just feel every vertebrae going click, 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 click. I really like that one. It's nice. But yeah, it's a full bridge was quite a strong one. Thank you. Sorry, Dali, I can't hear you again.
He's a bridge expert.
Amazingness. Well, I was going to say, unfortunately, the recording is on me, not on you, but I can kind of see what people are doing, but not completely clearly. Thank you very, very much for joining me this evening, ladies. The recording is available if you like it. But if not, I will either see you next week or later. And any questions, do let me know.
Thank you. Thanks.